think so. I was ready to go. March, right? Here's the Hitler. Here we go. This is my first time doing this. So I'm really new at it. You know, I'm used to
being backstage and having a good time with the guys, and, partying and just coming out and performing. I never ever did this in my whole career of drumming, and I think I like it. I think I'll do some more of it. It's just really a fucking gas. It's really cool. It's like being on the laugh in this thing. But I mean that. I just got a chance to play a lot of things that, that I like to play at home, that I practice, that I can't play with the band, although the band was nice enough to put up with me for 7 days and go through this shit. And it was really exciting. All I ever say is hard rock. And you just don't get a chance to do this. Now I realize by doing these clinics that you can play anything you basically want. And everybody digs it. And I had a great time. I'm rusty at a lot of the shit. I'm not making excuses, but I am. But I still gave you my 110. This is not what I got. Any questions, man? I didn't play on Unmasked because I quit the band by then. And Anton Fig played for me. He was a great drummer. Great. So I like Anton a lot. Yeah! Well, they couldn't use Anton in the video. So I promised that I would at least stick it out for the video, and so I did the video with the guys. But by then I didn't want anything to do with it anymore. I just really wanted out. I don't know. We did a lot of music. I'm pretty sure that's in Volts and a lot of the record plants and Electric Lady and all those places. We did lots of songs that never were released. I'm sure someday they'll put out an album, and I won't get paid, but that's okay. I haven't got paid already in 10 years. I don't expect a check to come in tomorrow either. But that's rock and roll. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. When I was younger with the guys, it was all just party all night and rock and roll all day, whatever it was. And I totally did that to the fullest. I totally partied all day and rocked all night, and I loved it. But I just I felt I was outgrowing it, and I wanted to do other things. As in every band, the Beatles everybody breaks up. Nothing lasts forever, including the marriage. Some marriages I know don't last forever, or relationships. But it got to be, to me, the Gene and Paul band, and I just couldn't deal with that anymore. And then when I left, Ace missed me, and so he left, and I just played on Ace's last album. And so it was good to get back with him. I'm going to smack you in the head. Do you know that? Do you know that? I'll really do that. I'm from New York City. I'm not from California. Yeah! Get away from them cymbals. There's always a guy, Is there always a guy, or isn't there? All right. But, I just felt, for me, the band, the makeup, the whole thing was great when we were doing it. I stayed 12 years with the thing. It was terrific. I got a lot of gold and platinum albums out of it. Beth was a great Rush, right? Yeah. You're welcome. I wish my publishers would get the goddamn book published because, I have written the book, and everybody keeps thinking I'm bullshitting, but I have, and it's just a matter of they don't want to hear another book of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that's kind of what it's about, but it's not about Kiss. It's about the 60s, going to the Fillmore and catching the first show of of Led Zeppelin and going through that whole era and then getting through that era, through the whole Vietnam crap and all that. And then it's about gangs, which I was in for a long time, and it's about drugs. Yeah, I had a downfall on drugs in '82 from overdose, just doing a lot of cocaine, which fucked me up totally. And I don't do it, knock on wood, that I haven't done it in a long, long time, and I don't miss it, and I think it really fucks up your playing and fucks up your head, and you're just not going anywhere on it. I'm against it now because I don't believe in it. Yeah, there's a lot about me and Jerry. That's interesting. Jerry Nolan, by the way, was the drummer of the New York Dolls, which, we kind of got our idea from the New York Dolls and from Alice Cooper, and we combined the both things, kind of like Poison does. I see a lot of, it's great though. I see a lot of Kiss when I watch MTV. I see a lot of, the flash parts and the explosions. Tommy Lee outdid me. He had to go upside down, But I love Tommy. He's a great drummer and a great guy. And so, you know, I just see a lot of the theatrics that we started, and they only took it further, and it's better now, and it's safer, believe me, because I got some horror stories that I've written that we went through with using a lot of that shit. Yeah, I had a set of exploding drumsticks, so they said, and there was these copper tubes, and they would load them up with flash powder. And so my big thing at the end of the show was, I don't know if any of you guys are old enough, but I used to shoot them over the audience. Terrific. So that night, they loaded up like 3 times. And I'm waiting to go on and boom! And I look at my drum roadie and his hand's gone, you know? He just blew his hand right off. And it really freaked me out. And I said, God, you know, imagine if I did that. Like, you know, like, God bless Def Leppard's drummer, God, you know. Excuse me? Absolutely. I'm going to drop dead doing this. Because it's, you know, I think it's what really, it's what I've always done, you know. I don't think I want to do anything else. I mean, there's a lot of successful things to do, and whether I'm here at Guitar Center or I'm in the Forum or any place, as long as I'm here, I really feel safe. And I really feel good, and it's like, no matter good or bad night, great night, bad solo, I'm here, and that's where I want to be, and that's where I'm not leaving this place. I like it here. I feel real safe here. Yeah. As most drummers do, I hope, you know. I don't want to get out there and do the singing unless when we do Beth in the show, I'll come out and do it. And we're doing it with acoustic guitars now, 2 acoustics. And it sounds pretty cool, so we'll do it at the end of the new band, new show. I'll write with Ace if he wants to. I will not write with Gene or Paul. Yeah. Thank you. It was a lot of fun jamming with Ace doing Deuce. Now they're bootlegging the goddamn thing. It's going on. Excuse my language, God. Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. I believe so, man. I think what Kiss did, which was really cool, is with Bill Aucoin, who was our manager then, is we shared everything. Everybody got an even 25% of everything. Yeah, which was very cool of them then. But as things went on, as we got bigger and more famous, I just saw the Beach Boys movie the other night, and I really related to that because we were kind of the same way. You know, we were really happy to be together, and then we got rich and famous, and then the drugs got into it, and then this got into it, and then we started hanging out with all different types of people saying, oh, you don't need those guys because you're too good for it. And then it screwed it all up, and it just wasn't the same chemistry anymore. And so, but yeah, we shared everything. And I felt that what I'm doing now and all that I put into it, yeah, I should have got something for that. You know, my beat is what I felt the song maybe happen. I don't know. I believe all drummers should always get at least 25%. Yeah,
Cars singing it.
Well, he's trying to.
He's trying.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's kind of like, again, it's like a bad divorce. You know, it's kind of like sticking it. It's really games. It's really immature. It's like, let's hurt Peter. Let's do this. Let's do that. I really don't give a fuck as long as I get the royalties in the mail. And actually, by them redoing that helped me because they're playing it again and they're playing my version. I mean, I'm on Pirate every day. I get my royalties at least for that one. And I'll look up on all the stations, and by them doing that, it actually reversed. And the DJ said, well, screw it, we'd rather play the original. Oh, God. I'll get in trouble. I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like, I don't know, then you got your success stories like Warrington. A lot of bands that happen real quick, but I like Bon Jovi. I like, Jesus.
Metallica.
Drummers. So many good drummers out today.
Don't you like?
Who? Yes, there's just a lot. Drummers have really, you know, excelled from where we used to be. Believe me, man. I mean, the equipment was nothing like this when I started. When I did that surf music, that's about exactly where it was at for me getting into my first band. Although I did Motown music for a long, long time. And then I did Latin jazz for 5 years, and I did jazz for 10 years before even rock. And so I hated rock. And I don't want to get into this shit. But then all of a sudden I got a lot of money. You know, there's more to it. And that's why I realized jazz musicians really have it tough because it's not a big market. It's not a lot of money in it. And they do suffer a lot. They do But God bless them, because I listen to a lot of jazz. Believe me, when I leave rehearsal, I don't want to hear hard rock. So I do put on jazz because it just makes me feel good. But
Do a jazz album?
I'd love to. I really would. I'd love to do a jazz album with like a stand-up bass and a piano and have a great sax player. I would love to, play with great jazz musicians. That'd be a rush. Chick Corea or something. I was 27, 26 when I got in Kiss.
Can you get a good picture?
I got two pedals here. I am working on them. It's real difficult because I've always played single kick, although I could do some cool things on a single. But I want to learn, I want to excel. I want to know more, and I don't want to be ignorant and say, oh fuck, I don't want to do double bass because that's the old machine gun. They all do it. They all do the 16s, and everybody sounds like Tommy Aldridge, and I don't want to sound like Tommy Aldridge. I want to sound like Peter Criss. But I got them, and I'm working on them, and I do work on them with the band. Because my guitarist likes the double bass on certain things, so I'm starting to incorporate them and I'm starting to use them. But it's tough, man, because it's like this leg is a virgin, like Tommy puts it, and it is new for me to go, to do that stuff. But it's exciting also because it's another whole ballpark, because we never had these pedals years ago. It was, single or double bass, and that's all you can use. Now DW came up with this, and God bless them, it's great. And they also have the remote hi-hats, which is a rush. I haven't got to that yet. I will eventually. Yeah. Oh, that was a crazy album. That wasn't one of my best albums to put out. I was still screwing around with drugs then, and if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't do it the way I did it. But it came out okay. Yeah, that's my wife, by the way, on the cover there, the blonde. So, thank you. Yeah, there was some good stuff in Out of Control. I put out what I put out. What I was pissed at is I did an album, another solo album after that called Let Me Rock You. Yeah, there you go. And now it never got released in America, and that really got me pissed because I had great musicians on there. It was like Steve Stevens and Steve Lukather, right? And Vinnie Vincent wrote a tune for me, and there was just great music. The guys from Toto played on it. I mean, really a hot album. And they just pacified me. It was the old Kiss machine working again. Let's let them do an album, but let's not release it in America. And then I found out that after it was too late, and it was only released in Europe. And it was sad because I felt for my fans that they were getting beat. Not necessarily I was getting beat, yeah, because I went in with Vinnie Ponce and we broke our ass. But I just felt that my fans, people that like what I do, didn't get my music that I really worked hard on. And that was a really good piece of work for me. And I was really frustrated. It really put me through a lot of changes.
Does the record label still put you that way? Treat you that way?
Excuse me?
Does the record label still think of you that way and treat you that way and don't push you?
No, I'm now negotiating with MCA, John Palagna from Geffen and Polygram. So we're now in between gambling and see who pays me the most. So, Oh, it was a bitch. I did a lot of coke, which was really stupid. And matter of fact, I was in a very bad car accident then. No one even knew it, and they kind of kept it out of the papers. But I got the first 928 Porsche, and I really wanted to see what it could do. And next thing, I woke up in a hospital, and I spent the whole summer there. I broke all my fingers, my ribs, my nose, lost vision in this eye, knocked my teeth out. It was really spooky. Yeah, Fritz, he got almost burned to death in the car. So that's my book, that type of stuff. But I don't know how we did it. I don't know how the hell I did that. We did the movie, and it was really hard doing the movie because you got to wait a lot. You really got to wait a lot, and you have all this makeup on. It's tons of it. And you're there 6 in the morning, and then they say they're ready, and then they're not. And then you go out, and they're not. And Ace and I just drank beer, and just got stoned constantly, and partied constantly, and went out. It wasn't really hard to act. Believe me, it was really easy to walk out and go, "Hey, Gene, I think you're in a." It was almost like a cartoon. It wasn't really a serious movie. My daughter loves it. She said, "Hey, Dad, how could you fly? It's really cool. Yeah, that's really radical, Dad. Can you really shoot lasers out of your eyes?" So, I put it on for her at times. She just loves it. But no, his management wanted us to make a movie. But it was smart. As far as merchandising and pushing our name, Jesus, all it said was kiss, 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 kiss. If I was married, I would. We had bodyguards that checked him out, yeah.
Did make it really bother you?
I didn't want to have my picture naked. Some chick running around, hey.
Make it bother you a lot wearing it?
Yeah, especially the green shit. I used to start sweating, and that stuff would get in my eyes, and oh man, it burned. It was real uncomfortable. It took an hour to put it on. It came off real easy for me, because I just, I would just have traits of it on, but it came off pretty easy. It's tough on the skin, though.
What do you think about Gene and Paul and the makeup?
I really don't care. No.
When you played in Sydney, did you sing?
I didn't play in Sydney. I left the band right before
I was
that.
in Sydney, I saw the band there, but were you there and you sang behind Eric Carr?
No.
Because they sung, they did you didn't even go to Sydney?
No, if I was there, I'd be on stage, man. I wouldn't be sitting behind Eric Carr. I started playing drums when I was 6 years old. It's the only thing I wanted to do. I started beating on pots and pans and playing on my mother, playing on phone books with brushes. And I got my first Army snare drum, which was tonight. I got a chance to do my marching stuff, which I haven't did since I was in high school doing the marching band. So I've been playing a long time. And I wrote my first song when I was like 12, so I also started singing and writing when I was younger. So I think that's a blessing that not only am I gifted that I could play these things, but I could also write and sing.
Can you play other things like guitar?
I'm real sloppy. I'm really sloppy.
Doing session work on? Can you call it session work?
No, they don't want us. It's like sewed up, really. The session, it really is, man. I used to think that, they like Vinny has it, Kalyuda has it sewed up, and Gad, and all that. It's just all sewed up, and I used to think, well, if I had to give up this, then I'll become a studio musician. That's piece of cake. Baloney, man. These guys got it, and they ain't letting us in, and that's just the name of the game.
Every now and then you see you guys.
If you're lucky, like I had, what's his name? In the band before Mark. I had a few guitarists, but his name escapes. He's with REO Speedwagon now. And he used to
get a picture.
No. Dave. Anyway, he was in and out of the band, but he gets all. You mentioned on my first album his name. No, on my last solo album. It's like I'm on drugs and I'm not. Lukather. Right. So this guy gets all Lukather's leftovers, which is still triple scale, which is a lot of money. And them guys don't want to tour. They got the studio locked up. I like touring. I like the big top. I like the rock and roll world. I like the bus. I like going out to different places, to different countries. These guys want to be home. Like now, Anton. I know Anton well. We talk. He loves the gig with Letterman. He ain't leaving it. No one's going to get that gig. He told me he ain't going to ever leave it. Because, he's got it made, man. He's making a couple $100,000 a year. He's doing real good. He's doing all the studio sessions with the other guy, Alan. So they're doing real well. And Anton wants to, because Ace wanted to take Anton.
Yeah, he toured with
Yeah, he hated it. You don't know Ace, like I know Ace. So he just couldn't take him. And he said he'd rather stay home with the family and what a great gig, though. I mean, every night you get beautiful. You get on TV, you do your thing, you go home. If you want to do that, cool. That's cool. But I like traveling. I like people. I love people. I love the rush you get. That's why when I said I don't like to play with machines, some guys have created it. I went to UCLA with Glenn, and I saw from Kalyuda to Weckel to all the greats. And Emery, and they all play with the machines. I call them machines. They got bass and piano, I think, built in their program. I tried. I can't do it. So I just like the feeling of musicians. I like the feeling of live, because you never know what's going to happen. Whether an accident or something spontaneous may never happen again, and it's magic, I call it. So you're not going to get magic from a computer. Never, ever. But you'll get it from a human being. Okay.
Did you leave right in the middle of the tour?
Excuse me?
Did you leave right in the middle of the Dynasty tour?
No, we finished the '79 tour. I got married, went to Brazil, got back, and I was out of the band.
How long did it take you to make the decision?
I was thinking about it even back in '76. It entered my mind now and then. It was just because we started just getting on each other. It just got to be like, what happened to the love? And we were like a gang, we were brothers. We were one fall off for one. It got to be the Gene and Paul thing. I couldn't deal with that. want to be told everything, what to do or where to shit, how not to. I'm a musician, I got feelings, you know.
Did they tell you how to play your drum parts?
They started to. That's when the shit hit the fan. That's when it's like, I mean, I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the suggestions. You know, most guitarists are real brilliant. They'll give you good stuff. Mine does. And I'll do it if it's good for the song, if it makes the song work, if it's great for the song. But if it's just a bunch of shit to make me crazy, just to put me through the wall and play mind games, which they were doing, and they were trying to undermine me, and I didn't like that. You know, they knew how to push certain buttons of mine, which I knew in reverse how to push theirs. And it just got to be sloppy, man. It got to be cruel. And that's not what this is about. This is about feeling and enjoying it. It's not to hurt your next bass player or screw up your guitar. That's not what it's about.
There you go. Right on.
Did you sing on Getaway?
Yeah, I did. I like singing that tune. That was a cool tune. It's a good tune. Like Mainline is a great tune.
Yeah.
How come they didn't credit you for singing on that?
You know, that was the early days. We started fighting for, like you said, drumming, and we started fighting for my due, but I don't know why. That was like way back. I thought to remember that part.
On the average, it's 50. Always a live band or just separate. Did you and Gene do a basic track?
Well, no. Actually, Ace played a lot of the bass on a lot of the albums. Really?
Really? You guys in separate rooms, or both of you as a band playing?
No, we all play in the same room. We got the bass drums first, which you should get, which is the basic I call the chair, you know, and then the foundation is, of course, you start building up on it.
I heard like most of Love Run, it's like almost all on guitar and bass that you and Ace were players.
Kind of, yeah. That's kind of how it was. Same with G with the bass with that, I don't know if it was Detroit Rock City, one of those songs with a boom, 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 boom. I came up with that part. I really like that part. And he just couldn't get it down, man. Just placed it.
You're kidding me. Oh, shit.
But a lot of people, that's okay, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if I couldn't do something and Mark could, I don't give a shit if he sat back there and did it. It's okay, as long as it helps us out. Yeah, so, you know, we all just mixed it around. It really didn't matter. It wasn't that Gene couldn't play. It's just that he couldn't play that particular thing at that particular time.
He pulled it off.
You know, Gene's one of the greatest. Those guys, I mean it, were the best, greatest performers I've ever stood behind in my whole career. I really got to see the greatest show on earth every night. Yeah. You know, watching those guys. And, you know, I have my bad feelings now about certain things only because it's just like a bad divorce, but I still have a feeling for them in my heart. I mean, I made it with them guys. I got a lot of great things at home. I'm very comfortable. I got a great family. I got a beautiful 9-year-old daughter. I got a beautiful wife. I have no regrets, but my heart feelings lie with the shitty lawyers and the shitty business managers and the shitty bullshit. You know, all that shit. If we could push all that shit aside and just deal with it as men and sit down and say, screw this shit, let's just play rock and roll, man, it'd be an easier world.
Thanks to everyone for coming down. Let's hear it for Peter Criss once again.